Get up there.
Что у нас с камерой? А? Что у нас с камерой?
Вот это пока что. Ну, я не знаю.
Микрофон. Ты думаешь, нормально слышно?
Я думаю, что не будет нормально, но все окей. Everything somehow body.
Of course, they're all around.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, maybe. No, but then if you mute it, then they can't hear the voice. No try. So. Wait, I'll check the stream and see if I can hear people talk.
I also need to hear that. Wait. This is like the small. It's not like a live. It's like 5 seconds.
Delay, but it's fine. You know? Yeah, that's not working. Okay, do this, then chaos starts.
Да, сейчас работаю.
Да, осталось. Быстро.
What are the groups No?
No, what you have done. I just like
Oh, is it too big?
Запустишь на полный экран, пожалуйста. Дальше. На полный экран, чтобы красиво было.
Да, давай через...
Hey, but you have to like stretch the image.
This is who's that?
Yeah, that works. No, it's gonna look weird. Make sure it's fixed. Yeah.
It said like
No, but the minimum dimension should be bigger. It makes it make sure it's fixed. Yeah. Oh, now, yeah. Oh, it's touchscreen. Nice. Where is it? Where is Oh, there it is. There you go.
How was the ball? How you leave it?
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing?
Good morning!
Please take your seat as we're about to start.
There it is. No. Logo.
which required specified
Okay, we need to.
Okay, so we will.
Just do trigonometry.
Thank you so much. We will also start. Welcome to the third National Assembly of ESN Latvia, who is Latvia. And we are very happy to see you all here. We're gonna start amazingly all the time. And we'll start with the welcome words from our local national board, and then if the OC wants to make some announcements or some welcome words as well, please also come to the front. Now? Yeah. Now.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. We, the organizing committee, are really happy to see you here. Hope you enjoy yourselves. We like to see you here. And yeah, you know where coffee breaks, there are papers with bullets. On the other places is the lunch place for the sugar cubes, which is a floor up. And yeah, have a great time. We love you.
So on behalf of the National Board, I'm very happy to see you all here. It's so nice to see such a packed room. I hope that you will have an amazing time. We have an amazing agenda. The chairing team, the OC, has done great work so far, so I hope you have a very warm and lovely time in Valmiera. And with that, I officially open the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia.
Okay. Thank you, chairing team, thank you, National Board, thank you, the organizing committee. And now we will proceed to the part where I'll tell you about the National Assembly, in case this is your first time attending such an event, and then about the voting and how it will happen today and tomorrow. So,
but it's a touch screen.
okay.
No?
Oh, perfect.
Yes, so we'll talk about the
What is National Assembly? National Assembly is the institution from ESN Latvia, the meeting organized by ESN country and the country's highest deciding body, same as national platform in different, I know they have different names. So it's in ESN Latvia, it's happening right here, we're having one now, and at this event we are deciding the future about the organization and making decisions about the upcoming year. It can include plenaries, team buildings, workshops, small sessions, discussions, and of course team building fun and all the social program activities. And I'm very happy to introduce you our lovely charity team. With me, the main chair, I'm Sasha. I'm originally from Ukraine, I live in Estonia, and I'm a member of ESN Latvia. We have our lovely vice chair. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Vladimir. I'm also originally from Ukraine, currently living in Lithuania and studying and working in aviation.
And our savior, our last minute amazing technical support, Alexander.
Hello, everyone.
And in case you're still within the WhatsApp chat, which I hope you are, please join right now through this lovely QR code. But I assume you all are, so we can move to the next one. Okay. And a bit about the smart lectures board and how it works. So as you can see in the agenda, and during the lectures we will use different abbreviations. And what they stand for, OC stands for the organizing committee, ND for national board, NC for national coordinators, CT for the charity team, and A for national assembly. Then we also have NO as national organization, for example, ESN Latvia, ESN Estonia, GA for general assembly, which we'll talk about later, NET for the Northern European platform, which ESN Latvia is a part of, EGM for the Erasmus generation meeting, and then on the agenda we can see P for presentations, Q for the question round, which often go together, D for discussion, SS for the small sessions, the W for workshops, and V for voting. And now the agenda rules. About the NA, so it goes smooth and well, we all need to follow some rules to make it safe and comfortable. So please be respectful. You're representing not just yourself, but also your section, your national organization. Be on time, so we can start on time, and then we're not late, and then everybody makes it to their buses, and we'll make it to Gala eventually. And please follow the instructions of the charity team and the organizing committee, it's essential. And of course, follow the ESN Latvia's code of conduct and some shoe documents. You can scan and check them out through this QR code as well. And in case you feel unsafe or uncomfortable, or you notice something that is wrong happening, please approach to Dennis. Where are you?
Hello.
Okay. So you will have the safety point contact over there. Feel free to reach out. About people who are present here, you are all separated into vote holders and non-vote holders. What is the difference? Vote holders are active members of the section. They can vote in public voting or secret voting, propose a secret voting if they think it's appropriate. They can propose the changes to the agenda, and also they can start the motion of no confidence, which is a last resort. And if you're a non-vote holder, so you're an alumni or international guest, you can ask, comment, participate, make your contribution, say your opinion. It's also still valuable, and the participation is very appreciated. Now, I'll talk about how the question round and the speakers list will look like, which will be happening after every presentation or during the secret discussion. Speakers list. After the end of each presentation or session, I will open the speakers list. If you have a question, you put it into Slido, which we will share with you later. You should write your name, your section, and the question that you want to ask. Please ask only one question at a time. If you want to ask several questions, write them one after another. And speak, obviously, always it's your turn. I will call you out, I will give you the right to speak. And I will also propose to close the speakers list after the time is out. If you have any objections, if you have any more questions, you have a right to object. And then if there are no objections, I close the speakers list and we proceed. If there are objections, then there's a different procedure. So please join the speakers list on Slido. We'll use it later, but
They will send it in the chat also.
And also about how everything goes, we have hand gesture that we are using during the National Assembly. If you have a regular question that you want to ask, you just raise one hand. If you want to comment or make a reaction to something that was being said before, you raise the fingers. If you have a procedural question, which is, I don't know, we cannot hear you, it is too cold, we should have a break, something related to the organization, then you raise one finger, and then this question is the first priority, so it's asked before everything else. If you want to support something, you like something, but you don't want to interrupt, you do the just hands, which is for silent applause. And if you want to request silence, which is what we did a couple of minutes ago, you just raise your hands and you also stay silent. Now more about voting or voting rule. So, if the quorum is met, which is what we're doing, the voting is valid for more than 50% of the sections of ESN Latvia if they're present and represented. If the quorum is not met, then the national board can represent all the network and vote accordingly. Decisions are made by the simple majority, otherwise it's stated otherwise, which will go more in detail next slide. Majority. So we have 3 types of majority. First one is simple, is when the highest percentage of positive votes wins, and abstains are not counted. So basically, for example, we have the case, which flower is the best for date? 2 options. Roses get 1 vote, daisies get 0 votes, non-above 0 votes, abstain 2 votes. In this case, roses get the highest percentage of the cast votes, they win. The next one is absolute majority, in which the abstains are included. And in this case, for the decision to be approved, it needs to get more than 50% of all the cast votes. So in this case, if we have the same scenario, roses 1 vote, daisies 0, none of the above 0, abstain 2 votes. In this case, no candidate wins because none of them reached 50% or more of the positive votes. And then after that, the highest percentage goes to the second questionnaire, to the second voting round, and then it's a simple majority. And then we have a 2/3 absolute majority, which is basically the option that reaches 2/3 of the votes gets approved. And in this case, basically, to approve the questioning, the option needs to get 2/3 of the votes. So in this case, roses win because
Yes.
2/3 are reached. That was for all three for now. I will open the speakers list, but if you have any questions, I will. You can ask for now. Otherwise, we will proceed to the.
And I need
First
to
vote
put
now.
this team on the last team.
Any questions? Next slide, please.
Next. Okay.
Okay, so I will read out the question and then I will call out every section. Before we do that, we'll do the first quorum check.
Sorry, I mean, I will do it like later.
Okay. So the quorum should vote. The question is, if plants will vote, which flower will draw to the president in the garden? And ESN Latvia. Sunflower. Okay. ESN Latvia. Sunflower. And ESN Latvia. It's not like that. Wait, it's too late. For one try, it doesn't matter if you're not. Next, so we'll do the first voting now. The first voting will be for voting charity. First question, do you approve Sasha as the main chair of the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia? Yes, no, or abstain? Yes, or no?
We should vote on ESN Latvia first before we continue.
Okay, yes. Previous slide, please.
Previous, okay.
I think you need to refresh the slides always.
Huh?
Refresh the slides.
Okay. Refresh. I mean, I don't see like from this.
Continue, it's all later.
Uh, Next.
Yes. Okay, so we continue this. Do you approve the legal delegation by ESN Latvia to ESN Riga for the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia? Yes, no, or abstain? ESN Riga? Yes. ESN Valmiera?
Yes.
ESN Latvia? Yes. Raising the legal delegation. Next. Now, do you approve Sacha as the main chair of the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia? Yes, no, or abstain? ESN Riga? Yes. ESN Valmiera?
Yes.
ESN Latvia?
Yes.
Amazing. The decision is approved and I accept the main chair. Next.
Next.
Do you approve Vladimir Hermash as the vice chair of the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia? Yes, no, or abstain? ESN Riga?
Yes.
ESN Valmiera?
Yes.
ESN Latvia?
Yes.
Amazing. Congratulations, the vice chair is approved. Next. Do you approve Alexander as the technical chair of the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia? Yes, no, or abstain?
Procedural.
Ilza ESN Latvia or ESN procedural, as Paula just made the comment. As Alexander is not, he's not technically in the CD, he's just supporting, and he cannot be in the CD as he's a candidate. This question is invalid, and he can still continue his task as he's supporting you guys. So we don't need a vote.
Then no.
Abstain. You are still a technical support, but you cannot officially be in the CD.
Okay.
You don't have
So no, you are not.
It means that when we are going to the secret discussions or
He can also-
yeah, he cannot work.
He cannot be there for his CD
Yes.
discussion.
Okay. Cool, thank you so much. Then we now need to select the scrutinizers for this National Assembly. Do we have any volunteers? We need two scrutinizers. One Mateo and the other one. Introduction, yes, it's your time to shine. And very nice. Please come to the front and I don't know. Okay, so we look at our lovely scrutinizers. And now the next question is, do you elect Mateo Garcia and Levina Samchuk as scrutinizers for the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia? Yes, no, or abstain? ESN Riga? Yes. ESN Valmiera?
Yes.
ESN Jelgava?
Yes.
Amazing, the scrutinizers are elected. Please stay here for the next voting round. Next. And last question for now. Do you approve the amended agenda of the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia? I hope you'll check it out. Yes, no, or abstain? ESN Riga? Yes. ESN Valmiera?
Yes.
ESN Jelgava?
Yes.
Amazing, the agenda for the 23rd National Assembly of ESN Latvia is approved. Lovely, thank you so much. You can take your seats. And now we will start with the very interesting part of the National Assembly. We will meet our international guests who are present today and for the whole weekend. So we will start with our dear guest from ESN Austria. Please come and Alex.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Do it.
Copyright.
No. It's,
No one goes in.
This is the thing.
Start.
Yes, please.
Okay, so hello everyone. I think most of you have already met me yesterday. That's the program. I'm here from ESN Austria, and I'm going to show you a little bit about ESN Austria myself and why I'm here. So, to me myself, my name is Stefan Macher. Born in Austria and raised partly in India, so I went to school there, and now I'm back in Austria and wreaking havoc, studying electrical engineering in my master's and living in Vienna. And ESN Live, I joined ESN in my local section in 2020 during August after I went for Erasmus. And since then I've been getting more and more active, and now, as you can see, I started my mandate as president of ESN Austria this month. So, where am I from? I'm from Austria, a small country in the middle of Europe, which looks like a laid-down chicken wing. We have our capital, which is Vienna, you can see over here. And we have around 9 million inhabitants in our country. And as ESN Austria, we have 14 sections in 8 different cities. Most of them are in Vienna, 6 of them are in Vienna, actually. And all of them together take care of 14 universities. The students are 19 universities. And in total, we have 3,800 international students we take care of as all of the ESN sections together. There's definitely more international students, but that's the people we take care of. And we have around 230 volunteers spread around all of Austria. And we also have our mascot, which is Koala, who has been kidnapped to the NA Munich right now. So our communication manager ran up with her, so she's not here. Next slide. And what should you do? Where should you go to when you come to Austria? Well, definitely you should go to the capital with a lot of things to see there. Many people come there for the music, for the theater pieces, for the old town, which is quite beautiful. And then you also have the cities for Salzburg, which is the west of Austria, which is famous for the music. Like Mozart is more or less from there, very good stuff. And then you also have Innsbruck, that is even further to the west of Austria, where you can go skiing. It's pretty famous for that. It's like surrounded by mountains, super beautiful, good for hiking. And then you also have Klagenfurt, for example, which is a city where they have a very nice lake. So in the summer it's really recommendable to go see that. And I didn't put Graz yet, but we also have that city. Our next NA is going to be in Graz, and we will be having our major ESA there. So if you want to come by and join. So next slide.
Yes.
That's my lovely team of the national board. We started our mandate now this month. And here you can see the kidnapper. That's just our communication manager who ran from Koala to NA. So next slide. And yes, ESN Austria is part of the Central European platform itself. You can already see there's more chicken wing here in the middle of Europe. And yeah, next slide. And yes, our national event is called IBS, which is a skiing weekend with around 200 Erasmus students who come together from all of Austria. And here you can see Fabian, our treasurer, in one of the last IBS with our choir. And we also do support chats. We also have stickers on it. Unfortunately, bring it, so we can't put them or a name. I took that already, and I can use stickers. Yeah. And we also had our national training event, which is for our volunteers. We had it last weekend, and we had a nice time. And also international guests are welcome. So we had some people from Hungary, somebody from Slovakia, if I'm not mistaken. So next year we're gonna have it again in May. So if you wanna come by, here it goes by. So, next one. So it's the last of the events. So we also have our NAs. As I already mentioned, our next NA is gonna be in July. It's more of a nice initiative. And yes, here you can also see User as vice chair last year in Vienna. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You can take your seat, and then later we will help everybody with the question round. Yes. And next one will be ESN Estonia.
Okay, good morning everyone. I'm Mark, president of ESN Estonia, and I'm gonna talk a bit about the favorite neighbor of ESN Latvia. So a bit about our national organization. ESN Estonia joined the network in 2000. The first section that was created was ESN Tartu, then it was ESN Tallinn, and after that we have 3 more sections created. So right now we have only 5 sections, and there's not really so much room to grow, but we are focused on maintaining the current ones. And all the sections operate in only 2 cities, which are the most populated cities in Estonia, which are Tallinn and Tartu. Yeah, this is the map of Estonia. As you see, most of the population is here and here. We have some nice islands, Saaremaa and Hiiumaa, and we have also here Narva, but unfortunately there's not enough international students to create new sections, so right now we will remain like this for a while. Now I'm going to introduce you to the National Board, which at the moment is formed by these 3 beautiful people, standing still. I'm Mark, as I said, then we have Fabian, she's the Vice President, some of you probably know her, and Simone, Mattel's brother, who is the Events and Project Manager. And then apart from the National Board, we have National Coordinators. At the moment we have 4 field positions. We have Taya as Training Coordinator, Max as IT Coordinator, Artem with Partnerships, and Ruth our Education Officer. But we have some more positions that are in field at the moment. And recently we elected the new National Board, which is completed. And we have a new position this year, like we introduced the IT previously coordinator to IT manager, and Max was elected. So we have Artur, financial manager, Mirra, communication manager, Fatima, vice president, Tommy, that he had to come, but unfortunately he's not here, he's going to be the new president, and Leila, she couldn't attend the National Assembly, but she's going to be the next event manager. Next. And some nice things that happened during this last year. We organized NET last October in Estonia, in Tallinn, and we had around 130 participants. In this edition, we hosted part of the Turkish delegation because of the issue with Nicosia. And we're really happy that now Latvia and Riga is taking over, and they are sure to organize a nice edition of NET. Okay, and the last NA that happened in DLU, in Tallinn University, very recently, it was the elective one, so like this one, we had also some people from Latvia, from Lithuania, and from other nodes. You can see Ilse, Alex, and Julia also here. And we elected the new board, so we're really happy. And next one. Okay, and then I'm going to talk very briefly about our national training event, which is called Skillbox. This is an event that happens every year. Depending on the necessities of our NO, we have different topics. This year was about leadership. It happened during a weekend. This time it was organized by ESN Tartu, and it happened in Tartu. We had international guests, we had trainers from UK and from other countries. And with this event, we intend to provide to our members the necessary skills to perform better in their roles, like even if they're just active members or they have a position. And so these are some nice pictures of the event. We happened in the University of Tartu. We had some workshops about yoga also. There are the trainings, Karan is here. It went really well. We had support also from ESN International. We got a grant. So the event was for free for everyone. And our National Agency of Education was really happy about the event, and they're going to collaborate also with us next year. So if you are interested, I would like, of course, to invite you for the next edition. Yes, and this is a bit of some events that our sections are organizing in Estonia. We have different culture nights. This is one of the nicest events, I would say, international dinner, where different communities of students are preparing food for everyone, and then there are some awards, and they can perform to show their culture and traditions. We have city tours. Coffee for Victory was an event organized by ESN Tallinn that was recognized by ESN International in the last EGM. We got an award, and we are really proud of that. And then we organize, of course, some trips. We have the partnership with Time Travels. We go to Lapland, we go to Sarma Island, and to the Baltics. And I think with that I can wrap up the presentation. Yes, if you have more questions, you want to follow us, you want more information, just check our social network and we will be really happy to talk to you and reply. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor, for having me. And the next I would like to present the representatives of ESN Italy. ESN ESN Università.
Can I start?
Yes.
Hello people, I'm Alberto, I'm from ESN Latvia. No. I'm from ESN Messina, but currently I'm doing an internship with my lovely ESN Riga, and I'm super thankful for this experience, so thank you very much. So, let's talk a little bit about pizza and pasta. So, that's us. I don't know how it works, Alex, so yes. That's us. Of course, we are without t-shirt, like welcome to Sicily. But before talk about my section, let's have a quick view about ESN Italy. Alex. Yeah. So yeah, you know how big we are. We are more than 50 sections in more than 45 cities with more than 2,500 volunteers and yes, quite a bit students in mobility. Next. What's our mission in Messina? Next. First of all, the collaboration with university and municipality, especially with the university, for us is very important. They give us the office, they give us money. For us, it's very important to be in a good relation with them. Housing and document support. Housing, we are so proud for our housing system. We have volunteers who helping Erasmus students to find house when they arrive in the city, and of course the buddy system and different activities. Next. For example, some of them you already know, like city tours, cultural events, sport activities, workshop, trips. Guys, the aperitif in Sicily, I mean, it's different. Like sun, sea, an amazing April. And parties, you want to know what is Brindisi Cheers? Ask me later, okay? If you want to know. Alex, next. So, a bit of our activities. Local school. What is a school in ESN Italy? It's basically an event where the volunteers teach to the new ESN members how ESN works. Then we have our early new year, the translation could be. It's like a party we have before the new year because we are present. And then we have the city tours. Next. Sports tournaments, speed meeting, international dinner, but what about our trips? Taormina trip. Maybe some of you know Taormina. It's a super fancy city in Sicily where a lot of famous people go, and Erasmus students love to go there. Amazing view, but you need water. Incontro Culturale Erasmus is an event that takes place in Italy every October, November, every year. And the whole network go there. It's in Rome, and it's full of cultural activities. Then we have our GEM, the Aeolian trip, you can see here. It's, we have an island close to Sicily, it's called Vulcano Island. It's in a group of 7 islands. We go there every year with our amazing Erasmus students from the whole Italian network, because since the last year, and we won against this year, this event became a national event. So we are so proud because it's not easy for the sections of the south part of Italy to have a voice in the whole network. So we are very proud of this. Next. Ethno trips, yes, sometimes we are with warm clothes in Sicily also, yes. Ethno is a volcano in Catania, in Sicily. We go there with our Erasmus students, it's an amazing trip. The Carnival of Aciriale is a famous city where Carnival takes place. And Bronte trip, I have a surprise for you. Bronte is the city of pistachio, not pistachio, pistachio. And this is pure pistachio from Bronte. I have this for all of you, so you can eat this in the coffee break. And we go there with Erasmus students to taste the pistachio, to visit the city. It's amazing trip. Next. Our structure, just to give some faces to what I'm talking about. We have the local board, our president Elisa, our vice president Damiano, our treasurer Claudia, next. Our secretary Giovanni, our local representative Vittoria, next. Then we have board supporters, Alessandro, our trip manager, Angelica, our communication manager, Dan, our office manager, Y Pino and Y Garfio. You can ask me later, this is private. Next. Board supporters, Marco, our sport and web manager, Esther, our pickup manager, Domenico, our coaches manager. Next, we have a lot of positions, guys, yes. Giacomo, our webmaster and event manager, Antonella, our body manager, Davide, our merchandising and accommodation manager, the housekeeping I said before. Next. And at the end, we have Ludovica, our ESN card manager, and Carlo, our partnership manager. This is the official ESN destination, by the way. Next. But the truth is that we are so many more. We are so happy to be volunteer in a beautiful city like Messina, but the most important word is this one. We are grateful to be a small family. We love each other. We support each other every day. So let's go Messina. Next. If you want, we can stay in touch. ESN Latvia on Instagram. Next.
Thank you so much. And now I will ask all the international guests to come with Favorite short. I see it now. I see it now. So I feel like ready. Yes, the same. Are we going to
Yes.
yeah, go sure. You're sipping water, you know. I like our picture.
After presentation, let's clap. Let's not do this weird jazz and clap thing.
But it was Italy.
I know sometimes we do jazz hands, but let's keep the energy alive and let's clap after the presentations for the good vibes. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Julia. I'm ESN Lithuania president. Obviously the favorite now, as we know all. And yeah, now I'll talk more about my country, how gorgeous and amazing it is. So going for the next slide. Someone please, thank you. So in our note we have 10 sections. We have 5 in Kaunas and 5 in Vilnius, our capital city. So basically our usually sections are by the universities, which you'll see a bit down there. And our first section is Vilnius University. So it was established in 2003 and it's still going strong. It's one of the biggest sections, one of the most having exchange student sections. If that makes sense. Going next. I'll say more about our team. So next slide would be our current national board. So far we have 4 people on our board and our mandate will end on July 1st, let's say, and we start a new one. So here you can see me as president, then Luke crafted this amazing presentation and our goodies. Then Gabrielus as well is here. And Una as our treasurer, amazing, just gorgeous. We don't go to any talks for all thanks to her. And going next, we have also our board support or national coordinators, as we call them. We have Katrina, she's our social impact coordinator. Usually she helps with events, if there's event manager as well, she's like the support to that position. And we have Aslan as our partnership coordinator. He usually just helps with that. And yeah, we have quite some partners, which I'll talk about later. Going next, let's talk about our events. So how we started over here, we started with our National Assembly in autumn, where we usually just approve everything, boards meet, we have a team building, more workshops, just to get to know the network and what sections want to do. And then we also have, obviously, going to the next slide, welcome parties, which we organize. Next slide, please. We go to the welcome parties, we do them in both cities of Kaunas and Vilnius, so students are having fun. Usually it's a collaboration between the sections, so it's kind of the best way to start working together. And also we go to international events, so going for the next slide as well. We
2 years ago we hosted that, then it was Estonia, and this year it's Latvia, so it's like Baltics are ruling. I'm very happy about that. And yeah, we cannot wait for Riga, for all the places, all the good stuff. So high expectations there. And going forward, also in the December we have a survival kit, so it's very similar to Estonian kind of skill box event as well. It's a training event for all the members, for our community. We usually invite our alumni to share their knowledge, and it's also a bonding event. Board chairs, also maybe some international guests are always awaited as trainers, and so on and so forth. And going next, we also have in January an event called Local Boards Meeting. So it's also kind of a training event, but more a bonding activity for exactly local boards. And usually we invite some kind of speakers, let's say, from the organizations, from the kind of our partners. It's more about exchanging contacts and future plans, let's say, strategy meeting. So it's kind of similar to Survival Kit, but it's more, going for the representation, let's say, in a box. And going next, also international events, community meetings, we have quite some people there as well, our amazing Baltic community. And also going for the next, our delegation goes to the EGM on the next slide. And we can go for one more slide down as well. And escape camp. So currently we have this amazing event in Lithuania, which showed this weekend. So if you see me too much on my phone, don't judge, like we all are fun here, but I sometimes need to, save some fires there. And it's basically our free event for full-time exchange students or international students. And basically they go to the lake, forest, all Lithuanian summer experience, having different activities, bonding, making some connections. And yeah, now we speak about our partners. And who do we have? So going down, obviously Time Travels, our amazing club. And also we usually focus on what our sections want and what sections need. So our partnership manager is great at creating connections, forums, like what sections are feeling the need to, and we reach out immediately. So this year we have like 7+ partners in Lithuania, so which is very slick, because before it was 0, 1, 2, and now it's like a huge growth, I would say. I'm very proud of Aslan. And yeah, of course, there's Telia, it's our phone company, so we give exchange students at the beginning free kind of SIM cards, so they can adjust, not to stress out about it. Then Czech obviously, some kind of discounts for accommodation, because it's pricey everywhere right now. And some just fun stuff to enjoy their free time. And I think here I will wrap up, so thank you so much for listening to me, and yeah, that would be it.
Thank you so much. And now, unless we have some other international guests, please I would ask all of you to come to the front so I don't question round. Okay, international guests. International guests. That's not wrong. That's not very wrong. Sure. Going with me. Is there some drama there?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Okay. So the questions are on the slide though? Oh. Great. And the first one will be from Justine. Yes, please read this. Your name, your section.
It's Latvia, you say Vito. This is first one to leave in Austria, so just any best practices you know that you would like to share nationally or locally? Like what is unique?
Unique.
If you may.
I do not know if that would make sense for your reality, because we have 14 sections, we used to have more. We actually have a complicated point system, which is for attending international events. That is something that I remember during the National Boards training in December, was one of the best practices I shared with other events. So like, which would award sections for their engagement in events and sending people to NAs or international events and stuff like that. Which also has some other benefits. Yeah, setting like members of the national level. That's something very nice. I don't think that would apply for it. But if there's anything else, yes.
Next would be Vincent.
Vincent, ESN Latvia, so this is both ESN Estonia and Lithuania. What would be your biggest technical challenge so far? Like hosting?
From my side, I think I was a volunteer at that event, so I can say only on that behalf. But generally, for me, it's a lot about the locations and accommodation, basically for everything to be convenient, but I think in Riga it would be easily covered. So just my recommendation to have this all together.
And that would be it from my side, because I wasn't in the OCOC, let's say, I was just helping out more, so I can't provide too much information.
Okay, from Estonia, in my case, I was part of the OC in logistics, so I was taking care of all accommodations, venues, universities. I would say one of the challenges is coordination between the different members of the OCs, because everyone has its own stuff, but most of the time, like the different portfolios overlap, and how you coordinate that is very important. And also communication with different universities, because they are the ones providing a lot of resources, like basically this is the most important.
Lovely. Then next will be Justine.
Yeah, Christine is in Latvia, Mr. Mark is in Estonia. You had quite a few vacant positions at your work. How are you dealing with these different responsibilities in the elaborate company? Open and burnout and stuff like that?
Yeah, now you see that we are already sick, but I have to say that it was not like this through the whole year. We started with a full board, then we lost a member, we got a new one, we lost another one, so it was quite chaotic. And we try to divide the duties of the people leaving. Sometimes it's hard, because of course everyone has its own. And what we did also, we tried to involve coordinators, other members. Now we have, for example, we lost treasurers, and we already on board before the official time, the new treasurer. And he's taking part of the duties, and it's a way also of having a better transition with the usual. But yes, definitely, it's not that one person can.
Thank you. Before next question, I would like to ask if there's anyone else typing the question. Then after lastly this question, I propose to close the speaker list. Are there any objections? No, then the speaker list is closed after English last question. Next will be again Justine.
Yeah, Christine is Latvia. Also, Mark, I don't know how much you're aware of the finance situation, but I just might ask. Can you elaborate about the grant? You told briefly the skillbox, this international agency, it was a project open one or a grant to develop it?
Yes. In this case, this grant was from ESN International. And like our vice president and our training coordinator, who is in charge of this grant, they applied for this grant and got it. And it covered, as far as I know, accommodation and food, basically all the expenses. And we had also the backup of the national agency that they were willing also to pay for it. But I think at the end of the day, we didn't do the national agency.
Oh, yeah, comment.
I have a comment. It's the fanciest event I ever been in ESN. We had 2 breakfasts every day with sauna and
Wait,
Yes.
procedural. You'll say yes on after in the section.
I have to say my name and section.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not from ESN Latvia.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was scared when you look at me like that.
Okay, then next question will be from also from Justine.
Justine, here's another. This is to Alberta. You mentioned that you have close collaboration with your university locally as well. You received funding from it, and in ESN Latvia, I think the control sections kind of struggle with that. So if you could elaborate, how did that come to be? What are the some of the, you don't have to go in detail, but some of the things that you is in agreement or
Okay, so thank you for the question. First of all, we don't have a formal, like general formal agreement. It's event by event. We need to we ask that thing. For example, that's like an example. This national event we are on trip, we needed the t-shirt somehow. So we wrote a document where what is your party? I wrote it. So we asked if they could be a sponsor for the event, buying us the 1,000 t-shirts. So it's a very, very big part from the university. They did it, they accepted it. But how we did it? A lot of stress. A lot of stress to the rector, to the vice rector, to the professors. I would say this. 2 main things. A good document, like formally good document, someone who can write that in a proper way, and you should know who you talk, like with who you talk, like you should know the rector, the professors. It can sound a sad reality, but it's very important in some situations to know. Because you can be an amazing writer, but if you are not inside the system, it can be pretty hard. So that's how it is.
Amazing. And I would ask the following speakers to please be faster since we're not time. And the next one will be Linda.
Yeah, ESN Latvia, what is a pickup manager? Linda, ESN Latvia, what is a pickup manager?
Literally, when Erasmus students arrive in the city, if they want, if they ask us to pick them, we pick them. Not like, I mean, yes. If they really need, sometimes we did it, yes.
Amazing. Next question.
Also to ESN Messina, ESN Latvia, so also ESN Messina, so for your national events, was it like a majority of the system, like specifically coming from the style sections, or is basically spread out like equally for international?
Since it's a national event, the whole network, the whole Italian network, not just the southern.
It's like, is it like more specifically the amount of student? It's not like just available for student, but
it's for the Erasmus people from the whole country, from everywhere.
but in reality, is the majority of them coming from the South or just?
No. We are this year we are 1,000. So
Yeah.
as I said, 1,000 teachers.
Next question will be Danica.
Danica from ESN Latvia. So Alberto, how many volunteers you have in your section and you have so many positions?
With ESN card or also like just
The
new
volunteers.
members? So all active members, 30, 40 members.
Board members or without?
With 4 members.
So everyone who is volunteers are in the board.
I mean, not everyone, like maybe, I don't know, 10?
I will remind you that please ask one question at a time and not ask another question. Next question will be Eva.
So I is in Latvia. So it's a question to all of you, but as our CD is time to time, we usually pass. So what is your best education practices and what projects are you doing internationally or locally?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, let's go. So for us, basically our sections are not that involved in education so far, but we're trying to push it this year. So that's why we're happy for the Baltics community and maybe some future education Baltics community, let's say. So far they're working on the Erasmus in schools mainly, and then maybe some kind of projects and school visits and like further, places visits as well. So that's so far education for the section side.
Yes, in Estonia, as I know, we don't have Erasmus in schools, but yes, in Tallinn, basically is the only section we need and we're doing a great job. So that will be our highlight for education.
Then the next question.
So I is in Latvia. What is your relationship with institutional stakeholders? So national context, national assemblies, European Union Commission representatives, governmental institution ministries, and political IROs. Comment to us on that.
It's for all of us?
Yes.
So we had to answer this before?
Yes.
Okay.
Please,
Okay. I don't know these acronyms, but it's very good. It's very good. My city, fortunately, is very good, and you could see it from my explanation before. Fortunately, it is, and we are still going on with this because we want to be growth. So let's see.
So for Austria, education topic is not that huge for us at the moment. We are actually trying to build up our collaboration with the National University, which we have been trying to work on in the past years. We are just getting closer to them. So it's a big one between the boards. And when it comes to international artists, for example, usually it's actually support based international artists. So it's in Austria, so the national level, we are not directly international artists. That's more or less.
Okay. In Estonia, in terms of ILOs, again, as he said, it's more for the local sections, and it really depends on the section. We have some sections with really good relationship with the ILO. They really collaborate very closely. We get things from them, and some others it's really hard. Sometimes we will struggle to get the accorded funding for the year. Then for the national agency, our relationship is pretty good, I would say. The head of our national agency is a former ESNer, so he really knows what we do, and he's really willing to collaborate. They helped us financially with the last National Assembly of ESN Estonia. The head of the NA also was one of the speakers in the skill box and gave a presentation in the NA. Then we have also a relationship with the National Youth Council, which also was present in our national agency last time. Yes, yeah, that's it.
So. Okay, sure. You have a fun night sleeping today with me. Perfect. Okay, that's on the roll. Anyways, talking about IROs, usually our youth sections are all mainly university sections, not city sections, so their relations are very tight, let's say, in a good way, and they get a lot of funding, and if they need help, they usually ask IRO first for any kind of things, and then they reach the national board. So far it's very good, and I really motivate members and new boards to maintain these relations because it's very important, as you mentioned as well, for the future projects. Talking about the national agency, so this year our board priorities were a bit different. So for my next mandate, that is one of my main aims to work on the building those connections with the national agency. But the youth council, we have a great relations. We go to their events, they come to our events. Like we plan to do some kind of event together as well. So we did include both communities, let's say, because national youth council is more Lithuanian speaking, let's say, and for us as CSN, it's people from everywhere, so we want to kind of mix it up. And I'm forgetting something, I think. Our surveys. No, nothing. All good. So yeah, we're just working on the improvement of relationships and just making stronger connections, the ones we have already. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the entrance, and now we will proceed with the future national board activities. And the first time that will come to the front, for Vice President of questions.
Hello, glad to see you again. Also told me that I have freedom, so it's not very easy style, and I love nothing more than freedom, so I am smiling and smiling. So my name is Tamara Bakarian. Currently I'm Vice President of ESN Latvia, and I will be talking why I can make a good Vice President for governance for ESN Latvia. Okay, let's start with baby steps. Before ESN, I didn't start my volunteering journey in ESN. It started very, very early. When I was around 16, and it started with the organization which was standing for Advocacy for Education. And we were doing really, really nice things. For example, we were collecting books around the country, reused ones, used ones, collecting them and taking them to the shelters, to the places for the people who have special needs and etc. So it's really good that even from childhood I was supporting sustainability and I was also supporting education. So don't forget, no day without a book, no day without education. And then, that was not all. I was also standing there for the people in need, for the people who are kind of different. And I was always standing there for the people who are in minorities. As a journalist who worked in every media, I was always speaking up for them. Therefore, I'm here for inclusion. Okay, thanks. And during my university years, and also college, which I was doing both together, and if you think that I'm doing it all at once, that's just my style, so don't worry about my health and my well-being, as I'm getting a lot of comments from my members that I'm doing a lot. It's fine, it's my normal condition, nature, so that's fine. Okay, during the university years, I used to work there, and I have organized within 1 year 2 international conferences, around 100 participants in each. I have organized job fairs, so then again, around 80 companies and organizations in that training. I have organized trainings and activities, and I have founded first magazine for my university. It's quite new, so like for them it was the first one, so I was bold to stand up first. And also I created the special forums and questionnaires and strategy how to gain the knowledge from the students and from alumni, etc. How to gain feedback, which they used for future accreditation for the university, and they reached out to me a couple of months ago, and they told me that they are still using it. So quite cool. After 5 years of graduation, they are still using the things I implemented. So you can see that based on all of those things, being committed to hard work and education and support and employability and all the things is in transport. Dear Charity, next slide please. And what about ESN? So I don't really have much experience in ESN because I joined in 2023. And first semester I was in the ad hoc team, then I became more, and I attended the 22nd NA of Latvia. This is my second NA. I attended community meeting in Porto, and I attended EGM Ankara. And after every single one, I have came up back with fresh ideas, new visions, etc., and made a lot of things for ESN Riga. I'm pretty sure that's my section members know that, appreciate that, and I'll be talking all about what I did for ESN Riga a bit now, but more during the section update, so I won't be wasting your time right now about it, because it's a lot, and I want to give space for other candidates. Okay, next, my dear. Yes, okay. You can just a bit down. Just a bit down, yes. So, I did a lot for HR. I implemented new strategies. I updated new structure. I updated a lot for operational management. Before it was all about HR vice president's position, and right now it's about operation management as well. About a lot of what's going on. I did a lot for development of the organization as well. So again, you will be hearing more about it. And I already set everything the way that how if the new board won't be doing a lot of improvements, if they stay on the same line, it will be going really well. And I also prepared a lot of things adjusted for the new national board. So if there will be some person taking over, they can merge with each other really well. Okay, next please. And yeah, what I'll be doing in the future for ESN Latvia. I'll try to promote implementation of ESN courses a lot because it's very important, and I don't really think that we're doing that much about it. Again, HR to strengthen human resources within sections, especially the smaller ones, because yeah, I know we're struggling a lot with that. And the presentation. I think that we are not that grounded on the map of some organizations, like in their eyes, and I think that we have to show them that we are cool people, and we need their support, and they should know that how amazing things we can do together. And last but not least, yeah, to-do list for December. I like making small to-do lists, so we will have section consultations, planning what we're going to do, because without section consultation, I might have my special ideas, but they know the best about themselves. And deliverables training, I want to organize some training for all of them together. And last but not least, preparation for recruitment, because that's going to be the first step that will be taken over. And the last slide. Yeah, if you have any questions, as you see, based on my previous experience, hard work, etc. I already have a lot what I can give to ESN. I already gave a lot to ESN, and I'm willing to do that still for the next mandate. So, yeah, if you have any questions.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Now we will go for the questions. And before we start, I would like to ask if there's anyone else typing the question or intent. Okay. Then we will start with the first question, Linda.
Yes, Linda, ESN Riga. So as there are no candidates for president currently, how do you plan to manage the president's task or divide them between both?
Okay. In ESN Riga, I already proved that if there's no section, there's no candidate for special section, I will always special position. I will always taking their tasks, dividing them to different people, or taking over them. So I don't have any issues with time management or task management. And also, we will have amazing presidents, hopefully staying for interim for some time. So she will help. I hope that she will help, so give me some knowledge transfer about it, and then we can see how it goes.
I will just add to this question, as Paco mentioned, I am planning to stay for interim for 6 months, should you guys approve that. So there will be an education transition for her or whoever the next president is, but also a general thing that needs to change in the national board is that all members should take up education and advocacy as their portfolio. So it will not be a transition for her, it will be a transition for the whole board.
Maybe. Is there anyone else having a question still? Then we will go next question to Ilka.
Also, so back on the education topic, you mentioned in your presentation some things on education advocacy, which is under the president's portfolio, so cooperation with HIROs and NGOs. Of course, as I just mentioned, it should be a whole board's job, not just the president's job. So how do you envision this for the BPG portfolio? What specifically in your field would you want to do this in? Because obviously some student mobility, these things are coming under presidents. Digitalization, education, like all of these things are under the WK. What do you want to do in this field?
Regarding the education, first of all, like I want to upgrade my academy to the national board, bring it there, and from there, like first educate the people who are within ESN, and then also bring it wider and to the students. And more information, once I have more knowledge transfer about it, I can push more things.
Thank you so much. Next question.
Okay. Also, I am at ESN Latvia. So, I know this question will come up a few times because you're going for BPG. HR is one of the biggest struggles in ESN Latvia. It's no secret to anybody. So, you're not going to fix it in 1 year. Nobody is going to do their portfolio in 1 year. But what is your long-term vision of ESN Latvia? What do you want to do? I hope that continues.
First of all, I want to support the smaller sections because ESN Riga is kind of stronger, so smaller section support would be my first priority. Give them knowledge, give them skills, and also help them to find the people who they will be having in their sections. And we can basically start from what do we have on a adult level, but I think we can also go to schools because according to Latvia, we have a right to have volunteers from 16, and we in ESN Riga have experience when we have people who are underage, but they are doing an amazing job, they are showing amazing examples, so we can also go there and kind of like grow up new generation of ESNers for smaller sections, and like once the smaller sections are stronger, maybe then we can think about starting another section, but that's a topic for another day, another conversations, etc. So yeah, that would be like a small overview about HR.
Thank you. As we are running out of time with a lot of questions, I propose to close the speakers list after Justin's last question. Are there any objections? I object. Okay. Then next question will go to Paula.
Paula is in Latvia, so let's start. It's not really an elephant in the room, but because you are elected, then there's a national board that comes from one section. So my question is, how will you ensure that all sections are treated equally, so including Latvian and Jelgava, knowing that, as I mentioned, if you're always elected, you're not in ESN Riga, so you don't shift the focus to ESN Riga, but also in the Latvian.
Okay, during my mandate and before as well, I observed that ESN Riga is getting a lot of attention, sometimes too much attention, and it is very important to have this balance. And as I already mentioned, I was always standing there for minorities. So, sorry, ESN Riga, I will be prioritizing smaller sections for some time at least. But again, I will be standing for you because you're my home section and I love you the most.
Okay. Thank you. Next question, Winfrey. And again, please, if you're out of time, try to be concise with your answers and with your questions.
This is ESN Latvia, so there's gonna be a lot of like basic position over there in the upcoming like MB, since we don't have a lot of like candidates, like only for those who like already apply. So are you planning on like filling those positions, especially when it comes to like?
Okay. As we already know, president and treasurer will be staying as interims. So for a time it will be transition period. It's fine. Regarding communications manager, well, I have education in communications, and I've been still supporting as a vice president of ESN Riga. I've been still supporting communications team in ESN Riga, and we don't really have to do that much in communications field right now for ESN Latvia because it's already standing really well on the ground, so it's fine. We don't really have to put a lot into it, but of course I will be supporting our members to and asking them to take over the decision, and if not, again, we can delegate.
Also, I had ESN Latvia. I'm not presenting today, so I need to talk a lot. Regarding missing positions, I think this is a comment to you and also the other candidates today. You need to sit down and decide what is the priority for ESN Latvia. If communications is not a priority and you cannot delegate it, it's not important. You don't have to do everything with the national board. You need to figure out what is most important before you start delegating.
Thank you so much. I will propose to close the question round after asking this question. Are there any objections? No, amazing. Then after the last question, the question round is closed. Next, we'll go Vincent. No, it was already answered. Linda.
Linda, ESN Riga. So what do you think the HR field currently are missing in ESN Latvia? And basically the thing that is missing now, which would you like to improve?
Okay, first of all, what I would have loved to see from HR field from national board before, and that would be more support and more understanding and more listening from the people who are actually holding the position of HR or vice president in the section and listening to them, and also finding out more about the volunteers and not not prioritizing or putting them in special field positions, etc., without knowing their background, without knowing what they are doing, etc. Again, support in a level that's by the consultations, what does the section want, and not like what national board wants. We might have very different visions about some things. Also, it is very, very important to consider that national boards from HR's perspective should not be trying to input some things, what they wanted to do during their mandate in local section, and then put the pressure on local sections again, that, you should be doing that, etc. So I think that would make sense. Yes. Thank you. Next question.
Ilse Aida, ESN Latvia. So you spoke about ESN causes, and I know you'll have another question from you, Sina. I think 2 questions now. What is your opinion of the ESN causes? What is your vision or understanding of them?
Okay, basically education, employability, all the cultural activities and etc. what we have in ESN causes, of course, and I want to support and help our volunteers to understand what are they, why they are important, how they can implement them during their activities or projects or whatever they are organizing, because I feel like we didn't really have much knowledge, or we didn't really bolden it up that it should be there. It should be standing, and it should be our priority and goal and standing force behind every activity we do. So I think that would be the answer of this question.
Thank you. Next question from Paula. Yes, Paula ESN Latvia. You mentioned local boards training as an idea. Can you elaborate please more? How do you envision this, and also how do you see the cooperation with the vice president of development if elected? And if you're also elected, as the training falls under the vice president of development portfolio.
Yes. Okay. Regarding this, again, as I mentioned, I would like to take ESN Riga Academy on the national board level, so it's going to be ESN Latvia Academy afterwards, and within the academy,
I'm more than happy to lead that, but again, I understand that it should lay under PPD, and based on their educations, based on experience, etc., we can first, from HR perspective, the person in charge would be the one talking to sections, finding out more information, what they need, what they want, etc., and then delivering it to PPD, having close discussions about it, what they want, making a general plan, and etc. And after this, making a small training, small sections, maybe spend 2 days together, all of us, and have this whole knowledge transfer, whole experience transfer, and also whole everything what you can give. We are there for you, that's what I'm there for you, and let's see how this symbiosis will work with BPD and BPG. So I hope it will work. So, thank you. Next question from Lisa.
Summarized by
Okay. Next question from Justine. Or recovered, never mind. Then next question from Vincent.
So how would you tackle on the issues with like your mental and also burnt out and also procrastination once the name is starting?
Okay, my mental health, I think it's in a great condition. Even though like some of you are really saying that, oh, you know, you should take care of your health, you should relax, and so I have amazing life behind this then. So, and yeah, I'll try my best to motivate them. If you don't know, within few days, like in 2 weeks, I'm going to training actually, attending about volunteer mental health and their support and etc. So I hope I will gain a lot of things from there, but again, I'm always there to support my volunteers. And if you don't know, we also in ESN Riga have special day to listen to our volunteers when they can have a booking with a vice president of her time. She will be there, listen to you, support you, etc. So I'm already working on that as well. So that won't be a problem. Thank you. Next question from Paula. Before you start answering, you can try to do it faster.
Okay, Paula is in Latvia for strengthening collaboration with NGOs and higher education institutions. In some cases, you need to use Latvian language. Sorry, but that's a harsh reality in this country. How would you see the board to help you with this, as you don't speak Latvian, so I don't know, but maybe I'm mistaken in this. How would you see the board helping you with this?
Okay, yes, I don't speak Latvian, but thankfully I speak Russian as well. So I already use that knowledge many times in Latvia while communicating with some institutions, for example, ESI, for the first time when I visit them and ask them for the space for National Assembly, I had to communicate with the lady in Russian, so it was already a great experience for me. And if they don't speak, again, like I would be more than happy to ask for support and help from the national board. If national board members don't speak Latvian, that's fine. I'm going for local board members. I'm pretty sure they will be more than excited to contribute to our community with that. And even if they don't do, I have heard, and I know that there are many sections without having no knowledge in their national organizations, no knowledge of language, but they are still somehow having communication. So I think it would work.
Yeah, Ilse Oya is in Latvia. I would be very careful about Russian language and stakeholders because when we expressed about working having in Russia, when we expressed this, we actually had a lot of negative feedback from stakeholders. So I'm not saying not to use it, but just be very careful how you go about it. Also, I mean, because I just held this position, most people do speak English, so you're going to be very fortunate from this aspect. There's just it's a one-off case. And lastly, you mentioned about going to local sections. I would really advise against this unless you know for sure that they can handle that.
Next question from Christine.
This is partially covered, but as the VP positions are newly split, it might be you will be the first one holding this position. So any strategies, how you'll be separating, making sure that there's as possible miscommunications, or thought you will do this when I'm moving situations?
Again, it is very important to make it clear who is responsible for what, and the person trying to apply for the PD position, they have like completely different experience in ESN, and are completely different, and I think that there will be like very big issues regarding who is responsible for that, what, and who has more experience in what that, so I think it's going to be covered properly. I love that you see the next question.
Hypothetical situation, a local section goes on the radar and doesn't respond to you at all, not at the board member, national board members. What do you do?
Well, the section basis, we check on them, what they are doing, and etc. If they are not doing, like again, according to our rules and statutes and whatever documentation we have, according to that, we'll be proceeding whatever it's.
Next question, Georgi. Georgi is absent. Question rejected. Next question, Isabel.
Can you scroll up?
Another section.
Aha, right. So you mentioned about another section. This was something that I put in my mandate for this year and both my candidacy and what I was working towards, but instead of making new sections in the end, we just went for better cooperation. This should be under the VP's role, and I completely support that, and it should have been when I started the mandate. What is your opinions on the work done so far, and what is your opinions, let's say, of the new joining section procedures, just the process, what would you like to change?
Regarding that, right now, I don't really have much knowledge what you are doing, but what I saw based on previous NA and the people who are having the text, they have like experience and they have like knowledge and willingness to create the section they want in one of our local cities. But again, like I have to look into it more, find out what you're doing and etc. So like for me, it would be very delusional to say like, yes, we will be doing that. But in the long-term vision, if we have the ground to do that and if our current sections are strong enough, then we can be like supporting that. I would very much love to have no more than 3 sections in ESN Latvia. So yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. And now we would like to have the invite for the Vice President of Development.
Where's my picture? So, hello everyone, I'm Kanika Manimanan. My presentation is not going to be very demure. I did it in 10 minutes. So, let's go. So, who am I? So, this is a picture from me in my first ESN event. I sneaked out from my apartment after my brother left to different country to go to this event, and at the same night I wanted to buy ESN card. I wanted to check about it, and I accidentally ended up in New Member Stand. And he adopted, Lucina Vitola adopted me, kinda. And then I'm from Sri Lanka. Let's start with a proper introduction. So I'm Kanika Manimanan from Sri Lanka, and I'm living in Latvia for 4 years, and more than 4 years, and I'm 24 years old, doing telecommunication engineering, which is not relevant to events, and I love events management more than telecommunication engineering. It's in a very different scales. I love events now. And this is me in my first event as organizer, which I got stressed and I wanted help from my friends, so I forgot to change my bowling shoes into my normal shoes, and I walked to ESN office with my bowling shoes to hug my friends when they start laughing and take a video. Yeah. Okay, so I have done so much in these 2 years. I joined in 2023 around April. So in 2 years I did a lot. I took so much responsibilities. I was the International Cooperation Coordinator of ESN Latvia, Event-Centric Manager of ESN Riga, and I'm a membership team member of ESN International, mentoring 2 national organizations. And I'm also in an upcoming ACTICOM committee. Committee. Sorry. And I was a social program lead in NA Latvia, vice chair of ENA ESN Latvia, and I was in EGM Ancona as a speaker and a second delegation leader. And I was a skill box trainer in ESN Estonia. and I also was responsible for TNA course of ESN Latvia. And the events I attended, I was in Educate Starter, which ESN Latvia sent me out of my actual budget for the coordinator, and they sent me to learn about the training. And I was in net talent, community meetings, training and activities of Porto Restaurant. I was in PGMs and NAs of ESN Latvia and only ESN Estonia, so next time Lithuania. Okay, next one.
Oh.
So, why me? Who else? So, I have a ton of experience in events. In my opinion, I could say I may have the most experience in events organizing, as I have. I mean, not as I have no more. Maybe like in the experience as how many events I've met. I think I have organized more than 40 to 50 events, or helped organize more than that. And I always, in my work, I prioritize my volunteer. That's one thing about me. That's why I'm also in a NEP volunteering manager coordinator, and I have a big international exposure. And because I have been to so many international events, I am active in all the levels so far in ESN Riga, ESN Latvia, and ESN International. So I have a huge, not huge or a big international exposure, and I'm passionate. I love events. I love events. Say that I will love making events. I love about everything about events, and Vice President of Development is all about events. And I can keep things organized. At least I will try, but I'm also the person who will say that I will not do it, but I ended up doing it. So it's kind of my personality, like, the student who say that I didn't study at all, but still end up in a good marks, so it will be me. So if you say like, oh, I don't want to do that, that means like I will do it. It's just like, it's me talking with my charm or something. And yeah, so I will run fast because of the time is already running. So my aim is to establish an events and activities community for the with active section enrollment. So if you know, like as I learned, like most of the NOs have the community for each thing. So I really wanted to make a TNA community, but I don't know how much the training is included in section, so I wanted to make a community with all the events managers to make sure for the for the more knowledge transfer and exposure, and to coordinate national events and training, and that's my favorite part. And I really wanted to, as you know, like this year we made there was a ESN first like after a long time we made a ESN national event, since we didn't have events. Vice President of Development. It's a fancy word of events and training manager. So that's why I'm like, again and again talking about events instead of Vice President of Development. It's too long. So I really wanted to make some impactful events and national trainings, and develop and promote more post-based and social impact SSI events. And I don't know how many of you know, I didn't know until I went to this community meeting. So apparently, all the 6 courses of ESN should be in each event which was done by ESN. But no one of us know that. So I don't think like it's easy to implement, but I want to try as much as possible for the sections when they are making events for the students to make sure we at least include as much as possible from the courses, so we can make more impactful and of course the SSI events. And organize collaborative national events across section is under the same thing like of the national events. And so this is another thing, like since we gonna have events manager hopefully all the Baltic state now. So I really wanted to make a collaborative event, and it's not only because of we wanted to do it. It's also after seeing an ESN hour, like if Baltic pull out an event together, we will definitely get an ESN hour. So we have to try our best for that. And support section in applying for ESN hours, and I wanted to make sure, like tell them in the communities, let them know what are the possible hours we can get, and we can work through it, and also make the events which is more impactful, which is more new, because at this point I see most of the sections or we have a good knowledge of how to make events. We are making a very nice events, the parties and everything, but maybe we can go a little bit step up and we can make more events which is more impactful for the society, and to change something a bit more in a very nice way. So that's my plan or vision. And so yeah, the national community meetings for the community of events, and yeah, and next one. So I will go faster. You want me to go faster? Take me a picture with this, please. Faster. Faster. Yeah, big pictures belong.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I will now continue the question rounds, and I will immediately propose to close it after Vincent's question, because we have a lot. So, are there any objections to close the question round after Vincent's question? No objections, the speaker is closed, and we will start with Linda. Yes, Linda.
Yeah, so basically the same question as for Taco, as there is no candidates for the president, how do you plan to manage or divide the tasks of the questions?
It's a quite same answer as Taco. So yeah, we don't have president, but of course I'm pretty sure, whenever I'm gonna message president, she's gonna give me the knowledge. So she doesn't have a escape from that. So I think it's of course, but presidency is important. But for the VPD, I don't think in my candidate it's more like it's gonna be related to events and development of sections. So even with vice president of development and governance together, we can pull it out, especially with the nice partnership manager and the treasurer and everyone. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, whatever the president wants to do, it's up to them. But if all the other members are acting as what they have to, actually the president will have less job than she have to do. So we can just do our job and it will be fine. It's fine.
Thank you. I would ask you in the future to make again a short
I will try.
so we can cover all the questions. Next question, Vincent.
This is ESN Latvia. You cry after the event, so how do you handle yourself?
I will cry. I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna call. I don't know. I hope Justina will not leave, because every time I go into the burnout, I'm like, you took me into the shit, so you have to hear me out. So I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna burn out. I know that, but I also know that I improved my my priorities. So I think I will be. I'm gonna cry. You're gonna see, but it will be fine.
Okay, the next question is
Yes, Lena, yes, in Riga, so as a member of ESN Latvia currently, you have been involved a lot locally as well, so in ESN Riga. And if you get elected as a national board, as a coordinator now, will you still be as involved? And then I have the second part of my question at below Ilse's question. Can you show it to me? I forgot. But it's the same, because it didn't allow me to put it in the same question. But yes, how would you separate yourself from the local?
I'm not going to. I mean, I'm still going to be involved in Riga, because Riga is my heart. It gave me so much, and I will keep. I will. But it's not going to be the same as before. I didn't do the same involvement as my first semester of this last year in the last one. But I'm still involved, and I'm still going to. It's more like, because I love ESN Riga, and I will be involved not as BPD. I will just be involved as a volunteer, like helping someone with the knowledge.
And then I have the second part of this question, which is the same question. How do you think other?
Sorry, can you please come in the chronological order?
No, it was in the same moment. It's the same question. It didn't allow me to send it together. I had too many letters basically. So it's the same question. I just sent it separately because it didn't allow me to send it together. How would the other sections do you think would feel when you are so much involved with the ESN?
I think I said I will involve as a volunteer, but to give, like, I know by my heart, like when I'm giving to the thing what I have to do as a vice president of development, I'm gonna be fair for all 3 sections, and I know we have to give more priority for Jelgava and Palmyra, but at the same time I would also give to Riga because I wanted more coast based events, and as Riga is making 150 events or something, I also gonna consider on that. So it's gonna be fair as much as possible. And I trust myself that I can be fair.
Thank you. Next question.
So, VPD, a lot of your work is going to be about training and competence development. What do you think is the biggest competence that ESN Latvia volunteers need to develop?
Again, biggest competence.
Like skill or ability or understanding of something.
So patience.
No, I mean it in a sense like HR recruitment or financial management. What do you think is the biggest skill competences on the ESN Latvia?
The courses. In my opinion, we have, as talking from development field, I'm still sticking to it because we have really good events in ESN Latvia, like with all the sections, but the courses-based events are not so much. I mean, we have, but how much we do it without knowing about it. So if we know about courses, by doing it, it will be more impactful. So that's mine.
Thank you. Next question, Lisa.
Yeah, no, this one was the first one, so it's covered.
Next question, Paula.
Covered by Lindy's.
Thank you. Next question,
Ilse, ESN Latvia. We're back. So you spoke a lot about volunteer development, but ESN is an organization. We're not here to develop necessarily just the volunteers, but we're also here to develop the students. So what is your plan for international student competence development? What do you have?
ESN is also targeting to develop with the students, and when I can develop the ESN sections, the events that's gonna develop the. Me too.
There's a sound.
So if I'm gonna if it's gonna go to the ESN international students to help them develop their employability, culture and stuff.
So you're going to do more educated sections. So
Yeah.
Next question, please.
Yeah, it's not opinion in couple of words.
So I was hoping this question to come because I know it's come. So most of us know the people who's going to candidating, we have our arguments, but I also know that even though we had so much argument in past, but we never had it in our work. And I mean, we always have it in our work, but we never had it in our personal life. So that we good at separating our personal and the work life. And it's going to be arguments. Yeah, it's going to be arguments. I'm not going to lie, but still, it's for the good of ESN. So I don't think we have to see it in a negative way. It's going to be good. Fine. Hope it answered.
Thank you, and I will remind one more time to try to answer your replies, and to the participants to please respect the speakers, and people for please take time. Next question, Paula.
Yeah, Paula is in Latvia. You mentioned that you want to establish events and activities community, but as the practice shows, for example, Valmiera and Jelgava does not always have events manager. So my question is, how this community is gonna work. Will it be open to every board member? Will it be open only to events manager or to the single volunteers as well? Can you please elaborate more on the?
At least one person should be in the community from the section, like if they don't have a manager or volunteer who are involved in organizing the event. And it's fine to have as much as possible. It's going to be like no more like knowledge transfer, and there will be a group for main people from events to be making international events. But to the community, they are all the people who's involved with events. There will be.
Next question, Ilse.
So my question is Vice President, right, Ilse ESN Latvia, sorry, is Vice President for development, present I spelled it correctly, is all about events. So which events do you feel that you directly will impact, and what do you feel is the purpose of national events in ESN Latvia? Or like what do you want to achieve with them?
It's not all about event, it's also about better events, more impactful events. And it's gonna be also with volunteering development, like we're gonna try our best to develop the volunteers. I mean, I don't know how to put the words together, but the work of volunteers or something. But yeah, it's gonna be everything, like to develop not only as section, not only as national organization, also as our personality, like personally to develop in this field.
Nice, thank you. Next question, Lila.
Was covered by UCNA.
Thank you. Next question, Ilse.
So this is a bit of a hypothetical question. I mean, you are part of the ESN Baltics calls, and it's not a secret that something we've been discussing about making communities that are rather than nationally based, we make it as a Baltic community. So what would your opinion be on an ESN Baltics TNA community?
I will love it. I will love it because it's we can know what others are doing. We can, like, for example, I went to Skillbox and knowing they have training, I got inspired. Maybe I can inspire them, they can inspire me, and we can talk and we can make events together. So it's good.
Thank you. Next question.
Yeah, Paola is in Latvia. I'm stealing this more. I'm stealing this idea from Justin about whether you go. So a situation from this year, we are organizing National Reference Games, and the NDOC has internal disputes and does not want to talk with each other, does not want to work with each other. What do you do? How about you resolving the issue? Good question.
I will ask the Vice President of Governance to get in as HR, of course. If it is the conflict is big, and if not, like I'm gonna ask them to put their problem behind because they are working here, volunteering. So if not, we will take actions for that. But I'm trying to cover it as short as possible. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Next question from Taco.
Okay, Taco is in Riga. How do you imagine supporting sections without trying to push them into and following the strategies you wanted to implement during your local board mandate and you couldn't?
Okay, can I read it again? Sorry.
How do you imagine supporting sections without trying to push them into following the strategies you wanted to implement during your mandate and you couldn't?
I kind of implemented everything when I was in local.
Yeah, but maybe they want freedom and maybe they don't want to follow it anymore. Are you gonna push them to support it, or are you gonna just let them have their own independence and follow whatever they want?
I think like development is more like how we gonna develop them, not like I'm not gonna ask them to do this. It's up to them if they wanna join the cause, if they wanna come into the community and But the process is like when you're in ESN, you should respect the process. So it's not like I'm gonna push them. I'm just gonna educate them about it. So.
But what they don't agree on.
Sorry, if you want to make a comment, please follow the procedure.
It's it's ESN process. So everyone who signed a contract or in ESN have to make sure we know about it and educate about it.
Next question from Paola.
Yeah, Paola is in Latvia. I am back. Can you elaborate more on what kind of national training or event you have in mind and you want to do it collective? For example, just one example. Give me something more specific.
one thing about me that I like to develop things on the way. So for now, like I know I wanted like in case of training, I would like to have more training about the how to do the events with the courses and those kind of things, and maybe it will change over the like when the needs are changing, and yes, and events. I want to make an event which is quite different. Like you can see there's so many corporate events like folks and stuff, but we don't have in Baltic. So maybe like the corporate events could. I want to make a collaboration where we can find a new ideas. So the idea school is open, not.
I can go. Yes, yeah, Bali is in Latvia. You did not mention your presentation, and it's heartbreaking for me, the National Erasmus Games. As you know, we created it after 8 years of the break this year, and I think it was successful, even though it was a big hustle. What is your vision with the National Erasmus Games? Are you bringing it back as well in the next mandate, or should we just ignore the National Erasmus Games?
So National Erasmus Games, I didn't mention it because I didn't, I stepped down from the position, so I didn't see, I can't put it as my responsibility of thing. But the national, we will have, I'm planning to have National Erasmus Games every semester, but then the winners can decide who wants to go or not go, but the Erasmus, it's going to be in every semester, most probably. Since we know how to do it, I think it's not going to be as big hassle as it was this time.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Also, ESN Latvia, this is a question connected to something that you said in your presentation. Let's do something together as a Baltic so we can win an ESN award. Do you feel that the purpose of doing things is for ESN awards and recognition, or?
No, I feel it as a motivation.
But do you think it should be, is that the correct motivation?
Why not? It's like, when I was there in the EGM, like I felt like, how I felt, and I'm like, why it's not us? So it's for me, it's like a motivation. Okay, let's do it. We can hope for the best, and we can create something at least for, because we did it like the motivation is not as much as before, because if it is there, we already have a Baltic population event. Since we don't have, we can keep something as a motivation to push us towards it. So why not?
Julia. Okay, Julia is in Albania, so I saw you have many different aims, which is amazing and great, but as reality for board kids, sometimes you have to focus on quite a small amount of things, so what would be your 3 main aims for next year in case that would be the reality?
The community meeting, the TNA community with national all sections, and implementing the courses in as much as events as possible, the SSIM courses. And one Baltic event.
Thank you. Next question, Taco.
Okay, Taco is in Riga. You have attended so many activities and events outside ESN Latvia. How did you share the knowledge with others before you attended educate training?
Before or after?
Before. Because after you organized 2 workshops, one was previously in NA and one is going to be happening now.
Well, I was after I haven't so much active in other section, but in ESN Riga, I know in the events meeting, I was there to tell them about the courses, like the things which in TNA. But the thing I felt is people are not very active in listening about it. Since I have a good background as educate, maybe I can make a better workshop about it instead of just a thing. So I think I'm looking more forward to give the knowledge, because now I know which way I can give, because before I didn't know.
Thank you. Next question, Paula.
Yeah, Paula is in Latvia. As you might know, we have only one section that is registering all of the activities and the activities that. So my question is, how do you motivate all of the sections to register their activities on the website?
I think it's mostly because there's no one to knowledge one second. Like for us, our member was Justina was president, and she was asking us to do it, and then I started doing it. So it's more like maybe we can give a small push, let them know they have to do it, then they will do it. Maybe it's the problem. Like I don't know what happened, why they didn't do it. Maybe it's because they didn't know, or the knowledge transfer is not there.
Thank you. Next question.
This is ESN Latvia. So first of all, I'm not representative of like having like events also training municipally in Latvia, but in reality, most of this will be coming from that. The endorsement will be coming from ESN Riga. So can you elaborate your plan on how you're going to get like the endorsement and also extension from one small section, like especially about and also the airport?
I think, in my opinion, they are getting involved because in national Erasmus games, like ESN Yelgava involved, and I'm looking at this event as NA. They are really good at organizing, so I hope they will, but we will think about the strategies later, like how to with the vice president of government, like how to make them more involved.
Thank you so much. And the last question was written after the speaker was closed, so it's rejected. I'm sorry. And after this, we have a coffee break for the 15 minutes. No, it was rejected. It was written after I closed the speaker's list. Okay. You can take your seat. Thank you so much for your. That means we have announcements for the coffee break.
Do you have an announcement for coffee break?
No, all of you. Yes, you can go for coffee, but one thing, all of you have welcome back.
Yes, I've been participant in partners events like time travels and also part of Baltic Sea, which is relevant because the partnership manager in ESN Latvia basically mainly works with those partners. And yes, I've had also communication with possible partners on a local level and BFC community meeting in Lisbon. And this is my vision. So my first main point would be about choosing of group leaders for time travel trips and pops, and basically any trips that might come up for the whole organization. As now it's all kind of changing, and it's maybe not fair in some points. Then I wanted to have consultations regarding this point system or selection process, and about the need or help with the partners in the local level, as well as what they want to have on national level. And together with the financial manager of ESN Latvia, currently vacant, but strengthening BFC community in Latvia, as this has already been started, I would like to keep it going. Next. And yes, regarding multi-cooperation, we also work together with Estonia's and Lithuania's financial managers and Lithuania also partnership manager. Continue strengthening multi-cooperation and work for the partnership field in the Baltics. And try to find new partners for Latvia, which is mainly transport companies like buses or airlines. I know it's been looked into, but we can look into that more. And strengthening the partnership with Cardinal Card, which was unofficially started already last semester. And improve the current partnerships, which is trying to increase their profits and revenues from this whole ticket. And negotiating more group leader spots for our volunteers. And
Thank you for the presentation. We will now proceed to the question round and the speakers list. So first question will go to Eva.
Elsa is lots of questions again. So the point system technically should fall under the position of BPD, as the point system should apply to all events, not just to Latvia and box, to do it in a fair way. So what do you see your role here? How do you have to cooperate with this position holder to make the best possible for this?
As I'm from a local board and we've been already having maybe troubles with it, I would like to provide my feedback and show how I see it being more fair and offer my help in making it. I know that I don't have to do it, but because I have the vision of how it could be more fair than it is now, so I would like to provide my feedback on it.
Thank you. Next question.
Hello, Gabriel, ESN Latvia. This is a simple question. I don't know you personally, so I'm curious. Why not apply to the treasurer?
First of all, because I have a financial manager.
Okay, sorry.
But yes, I like more. I've been an investor, and I maybe like more the partnership side of the treasurer, because current treasurer, still the treasurer, or manager. Has been also overtaking the partnership side, and I just like the partnership side more. That's the reason.
Thank you. Are there anyone that has a question? Then we'll go to close the speaker list. Are there any objections? Then after the next question, let's go to this close. Next question goes to Eva.
Elsa is from Latvia, so if you're not a financial manager, I also have this question, but you guys belong to the same unit, the BFC. As I already kind of mentioned during academics, kind of just see something that has been as a discussion policies, depending on the communities. How would you feel about this as to BFC?
I think it's very beneficial because in that way, as I mentioned already, I would want to cooperate with the the treasurers, financial managers, partnership managers, all of the countries, and I think if we create a community, then it is also beneficial for other members rather than just me. And it's the knowledge transfer that will be much easier because the other NOs can immediately transfer the knowledge to the local sections within Latvia, so I don't have to be the, like, I don't have to get it from them and then give it. And it's much better if they just are in one spot altogether.
Thank you. Next question.
How about Riga? Yeah, okay, how about Riga? I already have experience in that. How are you gonna make sure that during international events, what's are distributed to our volunteers?
So again, that would be implemented through the point system or the selection process. I have two ideas, which I thought that would be more fair, which is basically one idea would be to do the same for the international trips as for ESN events, which is just you give the spots for the national award, then you give it for the local sections for each one, and then depending on the additional spots, you distribute it equally based on the applicants. And the other system that I thought it would be point system, but rather than a bigger one, which would include all the points not only for attendance of events, because there's a lot of positions who are the people, not all of them, even I, don't go to all events and we don't organize as much. So to evaluate all the fields, also treasury, partnerships field, communications field, and give points also for that, rather than only for the events.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Yes.
I would say it's not yet. I would like to also make it very, very clear in numbers of sections that starting the next mandate, the way that we assign spots to international events is going to change. Because till now, NR has been really responsible for this, because we have removed the NR, sorry, Paula. Every board member is going to be responsible for a certain amount of events. So, for example, for the president, it's the responsibility of education community meetings and the General Assembly. So it will judge how to do this when so many board members are involved in the process of running these spot distribution, not just one.
Always not really already documented advice is not the guidelines. And the proposal is changing as already said regarding the board members, but we have already a system in place that I believe is working. We're going to and we can about the role as well. But we have already a system in place. See you also speaking to the system unless you want to resolve the problem and do it much.
Thank you. Next question will be about
So the policy is not clear, that would be with the partners to align to approach first, let's say, nationally, not the local facilities, the longest, for the partnerships. Can you give an example?
So mainly like bus companies, for example, not the local buses, but the ones that also go outside of Latvia. So it would be like Flux Express, Eco Lines, and transportation. And airlines, it would be more difficult. It would be amazing to approach also Air Baltic, but as much as I know, they are not that much into it because ESN already has a partnership with Ryanair, and it's their competitor. And that would be from my side, and then I would just approach the sections for ideas, what do they want, and what do they see as beneficial, because most of the partners are being used by the students in local sections, in local cities, and all the partnerships are for them, so I think local sections, they know more what do they want, what do they need, and I can assist in that. So I would consult with them.
I respond to the team agrees with my sharing team about airlines. This is a bit of my expertise. Air Baltic and Ryanair are different to the competition. They have different price policies, and as far as I'm concerned, Ryanair doesn't see Air Baltic as their direct competitor, rather as Air Baltic. So I think it will not be an issue in that instance.
Also, I had
it was tried in the past and failed because of the comment that Airbolt said that they don't like that Ryanair is already with partners with ESN card. So it is not a direct competition, but they don't like that, at least the moment they don't like that ESN card is also supporting other airlines. But since then we have also moved now, I believe Italian Airlines is supported as some other ones, so maybe a Baltic Swine will be better.
Thank you. Next question, Christine.
How would you make ESN Latvia more attractive to potential new partners that have no knowledge of this?
Same as I approach any institution. First of all, I think meeting on spot is the best way because then you can talk and then you see the interaction, rather than just through email. But explain what is ESN, explain what do we do and how is it beneficial for them, because maybe they don't even care what is ESN and what we do, but they are very much interested in the way how it is beneficial for them. And if I can prove it by numbers or statistics, I think they can see it and they would agree that it is beneficial and they would be more attracted to it. Thank you. Next question, Paola.
From the civil. So, in my 2 years of mandate, every semester I'm going to go to in Sweden regarding the corporation with the sea level. So I want to know what are your thoughts on sea level should be incorporated not only that they're also part of the part of the box.
So I don't want to be too controversial and express my opinion that openly my personal opinion. So I will answer very. So first of all, I should understand how much it is conflict of interest in Latvia compared to both POPs and Singapore, because I don't know how controversial it is. But I think it would be a good idea. Also, I've heard we have students who are going to the Singapore just to the event. And I think the cooperation would be beneficial also financially for ESN Latvia, and I think this is a good event, maybe more better organized than the POPs, and stronger. And I would look into that, and I want to have it, this cooperation, but it very much depends on the situation also with POPs and how much would it affect if we cooperate with both.
Thank you. Next question, Paolo.
Technically, we have a very, very small paper, they are representing and also they support very good network. So my question is, how do you see the corporation developing to become more formal, not just chatting via emails and asking for questions?
Again, one of the steps would be a meeting in person, showing them how it is beneficial, showing also the fact that 341, for example, is an international partner of ESN, and it's been used in many events. I do think that for small events, maybe it is not as beneficial locally, but still, depending on what do they want, what can they offer, I think it can be done. And also, I met the responsible person in person when for the ESN, and he was very much interested in it, and he really liked, as much as the vibe he gave, he liked ESN or the idea, and he was very open for collaboration. It just needs to be worked on more so that it counts as actual partnership.
Thank you. Those are to be revised here out of time. Next question, Alberto.
This one is over.
Thank you so much.
Currently, so my question is, since we already started talking about the events, for the national events for the next year, do you also be helping with the local partners for the events, or do you think it should be all under also?
I think it's as a national event, it should be the national partnership manager. Of course, maybe in some of the partner cases, the local sections have better communication. So in those cases, I have approach the local partnership manager or whoever they have as a contact person to contact them. But if it is not a local partner, then I can approach them because it still falls under the national partnership manager.
Thank you. Next question. Thank you. Then Alberto.
Alberto is Riga. So this usually is one of the most difficult things, especially in local realities with ancient mindset and who doesn't know grasp projects. So imagine that you have to spend a valuable partnership with ESN, someone who doesn't know grasp project. How would you do it?
I think I covered that pretty much by another question, but basically the same. First of all, meeting with them, explain what is ESN and what do we do, how is it beneficial for the community, and how is it maybe beneficial for them. And yes, how is it beneficial for them, because when they see that it is beneficial for them, they are more interested in cooperating with their organization.
Thank you. And the last two questions are because they were asked after the group. Sorry. Thank you so much for your presentation. And the next person to present will be the candidate for
Hello everyone, my name is Alexander. I'm applied for the IT manager position, and there is my presentation. Next slide will allow me. And there is some information about me, like how I was at Liga. And yeah, I'm working now. I graduated 2 years ago. And I'm in ESN from 2003. And I like traveling, cycling, and canoeing. So the next slide. And first of all, I want to start, like I always start, but I will start with like some bases, some of my done work as an MBA, and like in the previous position as a board support, I created infrastructure and basic functions for the ESN Latvia website. There is like, yeah, you can check the ESN Latvia website, but it's really long. Second one, I added information on the ESN Latvia website, and especially I know that also on the mobile version, the pages like correctly is visible. The next one, I wrote also news on the ESN Latvia website to show national level activity on the website. And yeah, it's like very important because stakeholders, they often use website, not social media. The next one, I deployed for management service, like ASM. But yes, but yeah, I deployed, but how to use it. Also, I transferred some services from private server to ESN Latvia based server. Yes. Also, I supported local sections with the IT staff. Also, I made some cleanup in emails, and also I successfully represent ESN Latvia on IT communities. Next slide. Actually, the last one, the roadmap. What I want to do. First of all, I want to update ESN Latvia website to newer local version, like this is an ESN Riga. Also, I want to prepare more documentation about IT stuff, which is in use, like for the future IT managers. Also, I want to make more strict GDPR policies. Yes. And after all, most of the people actually make stuff because we have some problems with the HR staff related to. I know why people don't want to support related stuff. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, and I will go to the teacher booth.
Yes. I will just change the slides. Yeah.
Firstly, just like I noticed the sections, the national board loves a 7, just no. So my first question is about your feelings, your role of leadership. So as you know, this year you were the WPA or team executive manager, but it is important that you're working over team communication manager, so therefore you are taking your tasks from the CM. Now you're in a position of leadership, you will not have somebody above you. How do you feel about being in this leadership position?
I think it's the same because like I've done almost all my work by myself, like without like host or like Regina didn't give me like ask about GDPR or other stuff. We do the same almost.
Thank you. Next person, Paula. Yeah, Paula is not big. I have a question about AS or management system and a second level. So how do you see how can more AS knowledge and environment or the operating period is needed for the section to qualify for AMS? For Latvia, to be also one of the national organizations, to be that experimental rapid, let's say that, to qualify for the AMS. Because the criteria says that we need to have all the sections that are ready to test the new AMS system for non-obviously that fulfill the criteria and relevant and all. So we would have any plans on helping these
First of all, I want to make a conversation with these sections because, like, I mean, in my opinion, it's not hard to fill this criteria, but you also have to be responsible and we're going to use the system like for a long time, not like we want people to do this, and now we just don't want to. Yes, and I think this is my first of all, we're going to we'll see what we're going to do.
So the AMS and the AS hard digitalization, it's mainly a cooperation between both the account manager and the IT manager. Actually, I know this is something involved, but the requirements of the sections are fulfilling are actually more on the account manager side than the IT side, because for IT side, they need either somebody who's dedicated to IT or the national board who's IT support, but probably the financial manager side, all sections need their own bank account, which they don't. So I think in this case, the requirements fall under, and making sure that their things fall under the financial manager too, in our context.
Thank you. Next question.
So, Alex, we had a lot of discussion about maybe going for president and what you're going to do in education and policy, as you remember. So, what are your thoughts on the education bill in IT, and what would you like to do with the digitalization portfolio?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say about education. I mean, it is, I think I should create some small workshops for local sections, also for the national level, like about GDPR or some, how to use some tools like which provide this national, how to use, how to maybe create and use on the websites, how to update it. Yes. Also about the second one about digitalization. I mean, I already
example, you know, Erasmus without papers, all of these these related topics. It's okay to have those thoughts on them. We have to explore this still again, it's not good, it's serious.
For me, it's not priority. I will think about it like after my initial stuff will be done, or will be like small.
Thank you. Next question.
This is based on Latvia, so you need to already like student communication, activate community meetings already, and joint attention. Also, the participate community.
That's a good question, and I don't recall because I decided to like build my career and professional. And I will not have time for international capabilities and like international stuff very much.
That's a great point. Yeah, politics is not yet common. As a board member, it is expected to do the active calls to know what's happening in international or stuff, etc. And to have the knowledge needed also. So it's not you cannot join, you should join.
I will try to join. Yes.
So, maybe start with the IT community, like your actual community.
Yes,
As a national board member, I don't think it should be mandatory to join communities. I know we follow it, some others have done so, but if you don't want to go do it, because you have to look at how much time you realistically have, so don't feel it's something that you're obliged to don't do it.
Thank you. Next person is Paula.
Yes, all it is not there, as you know, I see the education one is not very attractive, so the same is not it, but it's automatic to put more to the section.
First of all, I think we have to define which what kind of advantages you can get from the institutions. Like, first of all, maybe you can like you can add to your CV with you work in an position and you develop some benefits, or you also support with some like success. Yes, like it's like advantage, like say like proper advantages and to the people what they can get, because also like students who start like first course on analytic in second, first maybe they don't understand how much it is important for their CV, like to have this volunteering work.
Thank you. Is there an objective that you propose to speakers?
Not really, I can answer that question.
Okay, no objection to the speakers is solved after next
So since we started, we hopefully will start to do national events and training and stuff. We will need the credit system for ESN Latvia. So do you think we will do that, or what is your opinion on we have to do this training?
I mean, we can create the same system with with this one. And then we will do like show this this is not just also system with okay. I mean, it's
yes, and you have to ask the ESN for approval to use it. Oh. I think
I mean, I will ask, but I think it will be like decision in the future, not now. I just say like, to like ways how we can solve this problem.
actually we're working on the new account system. Because of books and they have nice features that are similar. They can create living links and descriptions and directly with emails. So we can also install or the digital stuff to involved in the functions. Will not really
Thank you. Next question.
As a very good just so much I think you please wait a little bit more by going to achieve your objective.
Like, first of all, we have to like delete all the personal information, which is older than 3 years. We have some, I think now that we don't have this folders, but we always have to track this process.
Thank you. Next question, Paula. Evaluates and it was the first covered about the audit, so how are you planning to do them, for example, for the sections? Is it going to be like once a year you sit down with sections of all the files?
First of all, I want to divide this audit into the 2 parts. Like, first of all, it's the files which are on the sections like Google Drives. Those are like very easy to do it. Like, first of all, you have to make a conversation that we are going to do this, and yes. And the second part is, for example, like activities. From activities, you can like upload to your computer, like participant list, and I mean, I can't like don't reach your personal license to it. I just can ask the people that like take some like 10 minutes and go to your files and delete this. I can like check. Also, I think for time trails that you always receive the participant list, and then I think right that you have to do it after the event as well. But I think sometimes people don't do it.
Thank you. About this here. So when it comes to the time scale services and lists, it's usually shared with a very, very small amount of people. So we want to get the academy that have access to it. And it's owned by time tables, so they're not the ones that should release it.
Yeah, I just was
Thank you. Last question.
I'm Thais Maria. What is your plan to support local sections, since I know that we have problems with critics about the emailing system and we are still paying the monthly fees? And
first of all, I haven't received from your team plans about this, and I don't know which problems you have. I mean, if you will say the problems, we will like together solve. And also, yes, about this, you can like this for paying.
yeah, but very good. Okay.
You are using Stripe and Variable, I mean,
Yeah, we need to talk it on the side. The question is, what is your plan to support local sections?
I just say like I'm open for the conversation and you can ask me the questions. And if you have a question, you can message. Yes. Because I can't like track your problems. If you have a problem, then you can look in it. Also, like if you have a webmaster, you also somehow manage these problems. I mean, I just can't offer my support.
This is my thing. Supporter also expect to take more initiative. In a way, yes, of course, we should figure out more sections. But for example, in my experience from Treasury, you can't sustain draft problems. You can do these assessments, which I wasn't start here. With IT, that we can also do more of the drawings and see the drawings actually online. And so everything managed.
Okay. But also, like, I mean, with the abilities, just for example, if I will like look into the abilities and I will see for the problems, it's not like controversial. Then I just like also like the national level will like I don't know interrupt work with the local level maybe. Yes, because of this, and I want to like a little bit say when you come to your goals, not that you will just search problems in the ecosystem. Like, do you understand me?
Thank you so much. And I would like to ask for another video to close our meeting. And the next item on the agenda is the ESN Latvia presentation by
Hello again. So until I will talk about the pointing system, I will talk about the pointing system. So pointing system is not my work, but I will give it first credit to Paula. So she started the pointing system, I think, I don't know correctly, but yeah. So we just made more and more changes every time when we are making the tweets or like selecting the viewers. And I wanted to say one thing like I had 1 year campaign as a international coordinator, and I was working in the pointing system for 1 semester only, and before 1 semester, what I worked is we took the feedbacks from an internal ranking from the local board, and we discussed with the national board, and we choose the chair. And I felt it's very unfair, like for me, like when I sent out the emails, I didn't think like I felt satisfied, but after joining the system, I felt like somewhat it's fair. And every time after every trip, we are changing something to make it more fair. And that's why this is not for voting this time, and this is for discussion, more like. So the ESN selection so far is for time travels and fox trips as we have them, but in future maybe we have more trips or more events, we can change accordingly. So the voting system, the rule starts from if you already been to the event as a trip, like the national trip before, the pointing system, the pointing of calculation will start only from the deadline you apply that application. Because the things you put as events that you did or your activity level that will be already calculated for the previous one, so it doesn't make sense to do it again. So we don't start from you start of the campaign. From the day you submitted your application or the deadline of the application, you will do it again if you got selected for the previous year. Can we go again?
Yes.
And in the tiebreaker, we use motivational letter, like this time we used it as a tiebreaker, like so you get +1 point, so it's like that. And if you are active at the national and local level, that means you can either you can choose the person who's going for the voting, can choose if they want to do it as a national or local level, or they can calculate them separately and put them together. But it's up to them. This time when I was doing mine, my pointing, it was only under my national. So, and then down to the second one, Alex. Alex?
Yes. But there is no slides.
Okay. So, the pointing system allocation in terms of the membership duration. So, for the first semester, if you are active in 1 semester, or better than that, you will get 1 point, 2 to 3 semester, 2 points, 3 plus semester, 3 points. And each time when we get the application, all your names will go on to your names and all the details will be going to your local board, the one you are in, and they will rank the accordingly. So if it is 10 people who is applying, first 3 people will go to the first 2 places, and the fourth to 7 will go to the other one. And so it will be like divided in 3. If it is 5, it will be divided accordingly. So it depends on the number, it will be divided. And it's for the first 3 rank, they get 3, and 4 to 7, 2, and 8 to 10, 1, for example. And in a tiebreaker, if you happen to be into any trips with us before, you will get more priority. And down.
Yes.
So, this time we, so as I told, like each time we make changes. So, it's before it's just events, and then it felt more unfair for those who have need to, for example, the HR makes meetings and the communication team makes reels and posts, and it also takes so much time and effort. So now we are changing the activity level. You have seen the presentation, the form before it was events before. Now we are making it to activity level, and this was supposed to be discussed. So the thing is, I sent all the form to all sections, but only ESN gave the feedback about this. So I asked for a consultation with local board of ESN Riga to Chakla, and she will soon give me the time, and when they make meeting, and we will talk about this, and there will be more changes about what kind of activities could get into it. So for now, it's the list you created count as activity, the social media post, the meeting or training you have organized, the events you organized or group leader. So the activity level is going to be a bit open. So in the motivation letter, the people can add that what they did, and we will check properly to what's left. And the next one. So before is just for all the sections is the same points, but it's kind of unfair for the other 2 sections with is yellow and Balmera, because they have relatively very less participants, like very less Erasmus students in the city, so that means they don't have much events. So we can't ask them to make more events for students. So we changed the system as for volunteers. Okay, so the big guy is a different one, and Elga and Balmera are different ones, so you can see it here. Less than 5 activity, you get 1 point, 5 to 10 activity, 2, more than 10, 3. And if you're active member, you will the point will be 0.5 plus 0.1, and the board member is 1. And for the Balmera, it's 5 different, it's like less than the activity, 1 point, 3 to 7, 2, and more than 7 is 3. Next one. That is the last. So for the board points, the board member votes board supportly, and the activity you implemented is 1, and we had the feedback from one section that it's not fair, but it was rejected by the ESN Latvia board because we cannot put it like which event or activity as for local members, because the things we do is quite a lot of different than that, so it's impossible to calculate the activity level on this. And I feel it's more fair because the as board member you will get 4, which is the same point you will get if you are a board member and if you are active in all the levels. Activity like properly, because if you see, if you in more than 10 activities, 3 points and plus 1 for board members is 4, the same here. So it's not like it's gonna be the quite same thing. So and yeah, if however, after all the pointing system and everything, the last call is for local national board, and we will discuss through all the people and the pointing system, and then we decide. And if you have skills violation, then it will also discussed, and also you can and in case of so many competition, the national board only for 20% of the seat, and we will not take anything. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We will now go to the question round, and I would like to propose to open our hearing as a question. Are there any objections? No objections?
Yes, objections.
Procedural, that's why it is not the output is popular, because people are not liking questions that are being popular. It's not reverse order, so the is popular.
Popular.
Thank you so much, and I would ask all the speakers to be friendly.
So, as of yesterday, I have not been in under 2 years. I have never been allowed other books, nor other life. From what point of view, starting out with my activity, given from the beginning. But given that I have very different learning experiences in all positions.
Oh, your role team will become as president, like in the national board.
Then what about my, because it says the last time you have been officer left, I have never attended.
Yeah, you started from the beginning of your volunteering, and you can also apply as from the local section or the national section. So or you can maybe both together.
It was very fun, and I was saying we were the specific ranking system from which mandate or which point you're going to start. So now it says only for the last 10 holes or not, because we each write.
That is the thing, like if you can't give any, it's going to be starting.
Yes, but then you need to write from your the first of your current mandate, because otherwise, if you haven't done any, you can start having to do your first dating.
Yeah, that's what we do. From the first activities, and you haven't been any.
So by 3 years, what is it?
Thank you. Is there anyone else that has a question?
Yes.
So you mentioned you're having a consultation basis, which is great. You're the biggest development in national lands generally. How was your communication with the smaller sections about this?
When we did the polling system, I sent it to all the sections at the same time, which was like not to be fair for everyone. But the only ESN Latvia was giving the feedback, so to correct, like make sure about the feedback and the feedback with them to improvise.
Thank you. Next question.
Also, it's Latvia. So the activities you mentioned, events, trainings, communications, I didn't know these things, but I would say that I was a very active president. So what would you count as my activities as national president?
You have a ESN Latvia contribution.
Yes, but generally, how would you measure my activities in the order?
Oh, you did the meeting when you did this?
I don't think I was there.
You get 4 points because you're in the board.
But then the only points that I get is score.
No, you will also get the point from the other things and how long you are in ESN, the points, and the ranking, and everything.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will ask the question going on and question. No objections, then we close after questions. Now the question is
Okay, it's an idea. How would you apply the activity management system for local treasurer, master of managers, then be active in events, trips, meetings, or
That's why we are still changing the system, but also you have to understand when you are making the local board ranking, it's going to be involved in that, and also as a board member you are going to get +1 already. And with that, we also going to make some changes if it is necessary.
just like
next question.
When that is bigger, so based on the guidelines that are going to be approved or not in this NX, no, I'm a little elaborate on my because in those guidelines they said that the priority goes to the people who haven't had the previous experience with Latvia. But in this point system, I saw that the motivation letter and the previous experience is counted only if it's a tiebreaker, and wouldn't the motivation letter And this experience should be taken prioritized from the beginning or why is it as a icebreaker?
Okay, so motivational letter is first of all in the motivational letter you want to add all the activities, all the things needed for this pointing system. And as I we received more than I received more than 20 to 25 motivation letters. So it's to go one by one, of course we go by one, but to specifically our motivation, everyone, most of them have a really nice motivation. So it's hard to, put the rank in the motivation. For example, we cannot put it is motivation letter has 3 points. Other one has it's not good because it's quite. I don't think it's too fair to be honest. So that's why it's when it comes to tiebreaker, we will check the most motivation letters so because most of the time the tiebreakers for 80 people. So of course we're gonna check the motivation letter again and again to choose the better one from it. It's more like to make our voting system also a bit easier. And the previous experience I didn't get any quite well, but the opportunity our case time travel and sports training is mostly you go and enjoy there and get more calm and it's a reward in some we can use it also in that way. So it's nice to give it to the people who never been there.
Yes, more than that tiebreaker, that's my question. Because it's only in a tiebreaker situation you look at that point.
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean?
Wouldn't it be more important?
It's okay, for example, it's tiebreaker because there is one member who, I will just give an example, not but one person applied, but the person is not active at all, but other person who have been to trips 2 semesters before, but the person is still very active. So how is it fair to give it to the person who have never been been to there and one who's very active? That's why it's yeah.
I would like to be very dense because we are very late actually already. So if you're leaving this room to the next question. Thank you so much. Next question.
Tara is Rita. Don't you think that this is fair? That it is not. Don't you think this is fair? That the national board is getting immediate priority over the other members who are working hard on local levels. No offense to any positions, but let's say events manager is working a lot, they have a lot on their plate, and let's say national board event manager or communications manager, they have less things to do. How do you think that it is fair that national board is immediately getting 4 points and local board member is getting 1 points?
What do you mean they immediately?
Just by being one national board member, they are already assigned 4 points.
Okay.
And while local board members, they are getting some basic points, but they need to be very active and they need to contribute to events and activities to get those points.
So inside how the national board works, it's hard to define for others' eye, but I'm not gonna lie, that is a real possibility. That's why the last call is for NB. For example, maybe the person is applying is not so active and we use the local board or local volunteer who's very active, the NB has a say to give it to the person, and we also know how our volunteers in national board working.
Next question, Linda.
Yes, in the ESN Latvia, so as you mentioned, it is difficult to evaluate both local members and national. Wouldn't it be just easier for the local board to evaluate their members and for the national board to evaluate each other and not make this point system, but divide it that they know better than you? Local sections know better, so wouldn't it be easier that they evaluate their members to apply? Rather than you evaluate members who you maybe even don't know?
Well, for that, let me read it again. So, section, so it's
And
more
we put on
priority.
board their members, their knowledge, their members.
Yes, I understand. So there is going to be like four kind of, if you say put the national research as a section, so it's more like we think everyone is the same, and you have your you are ranking them in some point, like you have your ranking and you want to put it there, and we are considering your ranking too, and it really makes a big impact when I'm looking at the data.
Maybe we can continue the questions after lunch.
Okay, then propose the education agenda. Okay.
Then